Oh, hey, Tyler. I see you're playing Miles Morales.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a great game. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Have you got that platinum trophy? I know I told you that there's that one really tough achievement.
I've got the
100-hit combo.
Right.
That's a bitch.
Yeah, I got most of them. I haven't got that one yet. I'm not too concerned about it. It'll probably be like one of the later ones I get. Like, I'm gonna work on these other ones, but that one will probably be like the last thing I do, like ever, like in my life.
Yeah, it's tough, but you'll get it. I believe in you.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
60 years later. Hey, Grandpa, what's that thing on the shelf? It says PS5 on it.
Oh, don't get me started on that, son.
I mean, it's all dusty and everything. Why do you even keep it around?
Fuck you, that's why. Can't get the fucking combo. 99 fucking hits got hit the last fucking time. Stupid fucking piece of shit can't do the thing.
Hey, watch your language in front of the children. Grandchildren.
Fuck you, Linda. Your face is more vulgar than anything I could fucking say, and yet you keep it around. Bitch.
It is really hard, though.
Yeah, still haven't fucking gotten it, though, for real.
I have.
Yeah, I mean, you're fucking so fucking piece of shit. Fucking can't do the fucking. It's starting already.
Hello, and welcome to the TNT Podcast, the show where we talk about anything. And I mean anything, except that thing you're thinking of. But I like your style. We'll also be doing whatever the hell else we feel like, because it's our show, and we do what we want. I'm Ty.
And he did the intro normal.
Yeah, like most people, like I feel like people don't even know that was me doing that.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Tyler's doing the intro again?
Yeah, like Tyler's doing an impersonation of Ty's voice, because Ty never does his own voice.
Yeah, but I don't know. Doing it normal is kind of like, because you always do a gimmick.
Yeah.
And that's a gimmick in and of itself, because it's weird for you to do it normal.
Sure, that's exactly why I was doing it, and totally not because I couldn't think of anything.
And for no other reason.
Exactly.
I'm clever, not lazy.
Look, I never said I was super creative.
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm not a left-brained individual. I'm not creative. I'm not a musician. I'm not an artist.
Is left and right brain a thing? I heard that wasn't a thing.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know.
It
could be.
It's just a
It's a thing people
thing.
talk about. Yeah, I'm kind of left brain. I think.
Yeah.
What do you think of me?
I mean,
as
you can
left
draw.
brain?
You can draw pretty decent. You taught yourself to play the guitar fairly decently. Excuse me.
And the drums.
Yeah. You got that from Rock Band. Or Guitar Hero World Tour.
Yeah, Guitar Hero with the drum set.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, Guitar Hero doesn't teach you how to play guitar at all. It teaches you how to press some buttons on a guitar-shaped controller.
Yeah.
But the drums, you're playing the drums. So, yeah, that's how I learned.
I had that, but I was never any good at it. And my cymbal, and then eventually some of the other ones, like, stopped reacting super good. Like, when I would hit it, it wouldn't always register.
Yeah, I got some of that because when I drummed on that, I drummed like I was playing real drums.
Yeah.
I hit the shit hard. So yeah, my cymbals started to go out, and some of the snare drum especially, because I would crack that snare drum like I was actually playing a snare, and it started to not register, or it would register 2 hits for every time I did one, and so it would like miss a note.
Dude, there's some really high-end electronic drums out there that just that sound just like a real drum set.
Yeah, I want one so bad. Because I have a drum set, an actual drum set, but where I live now, I live with neighbors within the same 4 walls. So I can't very well play my drum set because that would be rude.
Yeah.
So, but if I had an electronic drum set, they would just hear some
headphones on.
Yeah, they would hear some clicking and some shit like that, but it wouldn't be anything like a real drum set. I think they could deal with it better than a drum set. I'd be like, well, I can either play these or my real drums. Which would you prefer?
Right. But speaking of guitar-based games, what was that one where it wasn't nearly as popular because there was, Guitar Hero and Rock Band. There was one where you could actually plug your actual guitar in and play it that way.
Rocksmith.
Okay.
That's
right, yeah.
I had it for the PS3. I mean, it was fun.
Did it, try and teach you how to play, too?
Mm-hmm. But by that, when I got it, that was when I was most into guitar. I played guitar a lot at that point. And it was funny because the guy that worked at the GameStop at the time when I went to go get it, he was like, why are you buying this? You already play guitar, don't you? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm playing it just for fun so I can play along with it on screen. He's like, oh, okay. And but I did learn some new songs that I never would have intended to learn otherwise because I had to play it because it was the song to get through the next level or whatever.
That's cool.
And yeah, it was actually, I didn't expect it to work that well, but it really did. Like it picked up the tones from your guitar and could tell whether you were playing it correctly or not.
How did you hook it up? Like, what was the connection
It
type
came with a guitar plug that plugs into your guitar, and then it would just plug into like
USB
the
port?
USB on the front of the.
Was it for Gen 3 PS3s and Xbox 360?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if they I feel like they might have came up with one for like the Xbox One and PS4, but I never had it if they did. But it was a lot of fun. I didn't play it a whole lot because like I already played guitar, and so like most of the time I just feel like playing my own thing. But it was fun for what it was.
Was the teaching interface like pretty like good? Like, did it do you think it would do a good job at teaching like a beginner person?
I think that going to an actual tutor would be better.
What about for us people who don't like interacting with other people?
Right. I mean, you can learn to play guitar with the game. I would say so. Like,
I know there's other ways to do it, you know,
sure,
like online, or they have ones that you can play on your phone now.
It's hard for the game to tell you how to hold the guitar, how to hold the pick, how to position your hands. But as far as being able to, if you know that much to be able to learn a song, you can absolutely learn a song on there.
I've always desperately wanted to be able to learn how to just play the guitar well. And I know how to play like a few sections of a few songs, and and not much. Like, I've always really envied people who can do that. But like, I feel like my finger, and maybe it's just because I'm not holding it the right way, but like my fingers are just so fat, I feel like, and they always get in the way. Of other strings.
You have big hands and you have big fingers, but I've seen some people with
chubby, like there's big guys
with like really chubby hands, and they're great at the guitar. So
it's like
it can definitely be done. I feel like people like me that have small, skinny fingers probably have an advantage in that department. But no, like I know some people personally that have pretty big, chubby fingers, and they're excellent at guitar.
It's like whenever I feel like I'm supposed to like put, you know, this finger here and this finger here, like this, one of them's like touching the next string below and it's muting it.
Yep. Everybody has that. I have that problem with my tiny hands, and it's just the position of your hand. You have to lift your hand up higher so it's only your fingertips on it instead of laying your finger across it.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of a learning curve that you need to get past there, because I hold it really weird. The way I position my thumb behind the neck is really weird, because you're kind of supposed to curl it over the top when you play the lower strings, but I keep it behind, and so my hand gets this like all contorted and it's just really bad. But it's a hard habit for me to break now.
Yeah. I love the guitar, like like rocking guitar solos, you know. It's I love the sound. I really would love to be able to play the guitar well. It's one of those things.
It's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played heavily in years, but growing up from ages like 12 to 20, I was really heavy into it. And I learned a lot of songs. Mostly I would just hear a riff in a song and be like, ooh, I want to play that. And so I learned to play that riff, and that was good enough for me.
Yeah, that's where I am now.
There's I would say 10 to 15 songs easy that I can play the entire thing through, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, you did, what was it? Sugar We're Going Down? You did that.
I can play that. I can play a few of theirs. Fallout Boy I was huge into Fallout Boy, so I can play a few of theirs, some Rage Against the Machine stuff, and a couple Metallica songs. But those I could always just I would play the rhythm part when I got to the solo, because I can't shred. I can't shred like that. Yeah. I can play some simple solos. Like I can actually play the majority of the solo in Iron Man, which some of that's actually pretty fast, but I've never got that down where you just like take off and shred on it. I can't do that. I'm more of a rhythm type player. Yeah. I'd love to be able to, but
yeah, that would just be so awesome.
Yeah. I envy that, and people that can just pick one up and start.
God, me too. Yeah. There's this chick I started following on YouTube. I can't remember her name right off the bat, but yeah, she like plays shred versions of like any like random song, no matter the genre. Wow, we took off on a bit of a tangent there in a direction we weren't planning on going.
Yeah, how did we even get there? Yeah, we somehow got talking about.
Well,
like,
we were talking about the
Guitar
video
Hero.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guitar Hero.
Why did we start talking about Guitar Hero?
Um,
We started talking about drums for some reason.
drums.
Dude, I have no idea how we got
Oh my
there.
God.
Our
I feel
memories
like-
are so bad.
I feel like I'm having amnesia.
That's that's bad. We should not forget already.
We did our intro.
Yeah. And I said you did it normal, and that was a gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. It's gone.
Nope.
It's gone.
No idea. We're going to have to go back and listen to that. Wow, I feel really stupid.
Yeah, people listening are probably like, dude, like, obviously, but whatever.
Yeah.
What we meant to start talking about was, if you listened to last episode, we talked about how Ty got the vaccine. Well, in between that and now, I got my first dose.
And that's why we missed last week, because Tyler was a little bitch.
I was a little bitch. If you remember, Ty said he felt fine. I did not. I got my ass beat. I got kicked down the road and rolled in front of traffic. Like, it was bad. That being said, I can't wait to get my second dose because I know it's worth it. But so he got the Pfizer and I got the Moderna. I don't know if that's the difference or if it's just the way our bodies reacted to it, because I think they're basically the same shit.
Yeah, like you said, we've heard ones from other people who have gotten the Moderna,
Yeah.
who said they felt fine afterwards. So I think it's just the person,
Yeah.
the individual.
Because my mom got the Moderna and she feels fine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird. But I had a really bad headache. I had some chills, body aches, a little bit of nausea and lightheadedness. But it was pretty severe. I still went to work that night because I work night shift. I got the shot around like 1:30 in the afternoon. And then I had to go into work from 4 till 1 a.m.
Yeah. And then you had to work that Saturday.
Yeah,
too.
to work the Saturday after that because I got vaccinated on a Thursday, on a Friday. Went to work that Friday night and then had to work the Saturday after. And it was rough, but I powered through. I tried to leave early Friday night, but the system we have at work, only so many people can be off at a certain time, and somebody else had already taken off, so I couldn't leave without using a call-in, and I only get so many call-ins per year, so I was like, not worth it. So I'll just power through. Luckily, with my job, I'm kind of like a zone leader, so most of the time I don't actually have to be on the assembly line. I kind of can do things off the line, and so I was able to just kind of like do some easier stuff that didn't take as much, physical strain and shit. So I wasn't like making myself sick because I was not feeling good. The next day, that Saturday though, I felt fine. Like a little bit of body aches and my arm didn't feel very well, but I was okay.
Now, the one thing I noticed, and maybe you noticed this too now that you're vaccinated, is I suddenly have like felt the urge to like buy Microsoft products, because
Yeah, I have that. Like, it's funny because, we're both iPhone users. And,
and it's so weird. That's why I felt
like,
it was weird.
I was walking by a the phone section at the Walmart, and the new like Windows phone was looking really good.
And like the Microsoft Surface Pro, like I have an iPad, but like fuck that.
Oh, dude, the Surface Pro's where it's at now.
Yeah.
I was going to sell my MacBook and get a new like a Microsoft computer. Like I was thinking of like even a Dell or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But it seems like it happened ever since I got that vaccine.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even like using my iPhone or like any kind of Apple product anymore.
Yeah, it's really starting to like weigh on me, like piss me off.
Yeah, because, if you're not getting what we're doing here.
It was really hard not to laugh the whole time.
Obviously because of the microchip that Bill Gates put in the vaccine.
The vaccines, yeah.
And Bill Gates
because he helped create the virus to make the vaccine.
Right. Exactly. He created the virus that way he could create the vaccine because
he doesn't have enough money.
Yeah, because he's like the second or third richest man in the entire world.
Yeah.
And he needs money because his computers aren't selling well. Just kidding. Yes, they are.
I mean, I don't get how, but they are. So
I work with a certain individual that will remain nameless because on the off chance that they listen to the podcast, I work with a person that literally thinks there is a microchip in the vaccine. I told her I got vaccinated and she genuinely thinks that I have a microchip in me now.
What's that microchip doing?
According to her, it's collecting all the data ever. So it knows my heart rate at all times. It knows my blood type. It knows how often I have sex. It knows what meals I'm eating. It knows
So let's say this
how
is,
active I am. It knows literally everything about me.
Let's say this is true.
Right.
How does that help the people who
Exactly.
are getting that information?
That's what I told her. I was like, why? I was
Yeah.
like, why do they give a fuck?
Yeah.
She's like, they could use it for their studies. I'm like, fucking why?
Yeah.
Why do they care?
I don't care. Use it for the studies.
I'm like, nobody gives a fuck what Tyler's doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just a dude.
It's like those people that say, like, you know, people hack into your cameras on your laptop.
I'm like, okay, they're just going to see me picking my nose
yeah.
and the occasional jerking off.
Yeah. Right?
Like, I'm an incredibly boring person.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody's taking the effort to put a microchip in me or spy on me, they're going to be hilariously disappointed.
Right?
Because all I do is, like, eat junk food and watch television.
That's literally my life.
Yeah, like... and, yeah, I just kept saying, I'm like, why? And she kept saying all this stupid stuff. I'm like, they don't give a fuck what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That information is useless.
Yep.
And they can get all that information from my Facebook, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
like they can track you. I'm like, we're all carrying tracking devices in our pockets that we willingly purchased for like $1,000.
yeah. Oh god.
She's like, yeah, but I have my location settings turned off. I'm like, yeah, they
Okay,
want.
well, I
I
guess-
was like, they want you to think that you have them turned
Yeah.
off. I was like, that's how they get you.
It's like as long as you have a cell signal, they can tell where you are.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if your location services are on or off. If you have a wireless or a wireless signal, which why else would you have a phone if you didn't have it have a signal coming in? Like they can triangulate where you're at using antennas.
And it's funny because with other people, I might be a little more gentle, but I've known her for years, like over 5 years now. I've known her and I consider her a friend, even though she's wacko in that sense. She's, I think deep down, genuinely a good person. I think if I needed a favor, I could go to her and she'd do the favor for me. So like, it's funny how you can be kind of more cruel to your friends than you can do other people. Cause like, we'll forgive each other cause we're friends. So
Right,
like,
you fucking asshole.
right, you piece of shit, bitch.
No offense.
No
See?
offense. See, we're good.
Yeah.
Hurt a little, but
Holding back the tears.
trying to act like I'm okay. But no, I literally looked at her. I'm like, you know, that's fucking nonsense, right? And she's like, how do you know? I'm like, that's batshit fucking crazy. And she actually looked at me and was like, well, how come when I say things, you kind of blow them off like that, but when you try to say something that I don't agree with, I actually hear you out. I'm like, because the shit I'm saying isn't batshit fucking crazy.
Stuff I say
like-
is backed up by science.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm saying stuff that just happened. You're saying there's microchips in the vaccine and that the election was rigged. Like, the stuff I say is just stuff. I don't say, like, crazy conspiracy theories. And, like, she just kind of looked at me like, well, I wish you would just show me the same respect. It's like, I will absolutely respect your opinion to have these opinions, but I'm going to tell you what I think about them.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's funny. Like, afterwards, we started talking about our dogs and stuff. Like, we're cool. That may be the slowest anyone has ever opened a pop.
I was trying to do it nice and careful. At least that one didn't like explode all over my hand. What?
Explode all over my hand. Sorry. I'm 12.
I don't know about you, but I don't ever explode into my hand.
I explode all over the ceiling. So, are you gonna? I thought you were gonna slurp super loud into them.
Why would I do that? Have I ever done anything like that?
Yes.
Name 2 times.
Name more than 3 times. But yeah, it's crazy how many people think things like that. And I also told her, I was like, I got the shot and the needle was super thin. I was like, you realize, like, have you seen microchip needles that they actually put into like your dog and stuff? Mm-hmm. Like they're at least as big around as like a coffee straw. Like they're a big needle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this thing was like a sewing needle. It was tiny. And she's like, well, they have like nanotechnology. I'm like, no, the fuck they don't. I was like, they do in Iron Man. I was like, you're thinking of Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely...
A fictional movie.
Yes, they absolutely have that in the MCU, but not the U.
Yeah, didn't you know the microchip was also made of vibranium?
Yeah, like the lengths that they'll go to. She believes that, but she doesn't believe that the virus is actually like a real thing. She thinks like it's crazy to me, that mindset that you'll make the leaps in logic that it takes to believe these conspiracies, but then you don't believe something that's obvious and it's just right in front of you.
Yeah, something that's like physically demonstrable.
Yeah, like people that will think like the Earth's flat, but they believe that there's microchips in your arm. Like, yeah, I don't, and the Earth being round, a little far fetched, but the microchips, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it drives me bonkers.
Speaking of batshit, conservative like mindsets, cancel culture seems to be the hot topic.
It's out of control. They've gone too far. They came from my potato head's penis.
They're taking away my childhood books that are
that
racist.
I've never read.
Yeah.
That I'd literally never heard of until they took them away. And now I'm furious.
Right.
You know what's funny? People are protesting Dr. Seuss by buying all his books.
Let's protest the estate of Dr. Seuss by giving them lots of money.
Yeah, because they're going to stop publishing those 6 books that no one ever heard of.
Yeah.
And so people are just buying out those 6 books.
It's so stupid.
This will show them, let's give them all our money.
They're not, it's not like they're going to these people's houses and like taking them away. They're just stopping publishing them now.
Yeah, so every copy that's in existence, it
not
still
going
exists.
Yeah, it's not like they're gonna like.
There's still millions of copies of these books.
Yeah, and they're
maybe
not
millions, but at least thousands.
They're not gonna do anything to them. They're not gonna like hunt them down and burn them.
Yeah, this isn't Fahrenheit 451. Yeah, like I looked at the list of 6, and out of them, I'd heard of maybe 2 or 3 of them. I actually did own the Mulberry Street, whatever, to think I saw it on whatever it's called.
But they are far from the main titles of Dr. Seuss.
People keep saying, "Oh, they're canceling Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs," and no, the fuck they're not.
No, they're not. They're not canceling Dr. Seuss.
They're not. Yeah, they're not.
They are not canceling anything. Dr. Seuss themselves, the estate themselves, are the ones that decided to do this.
Right. Yeah, the company themselves and the people in charge were probably looking through the catalog and was like, there's some controversial shit in these. Let's stop publishing these.
But then you'll have the people that'll say, well, they're feeling pressure from the left.
The libtards.
Yeah.
Yeah, people on the right think that...
If lefts are libtards, does that make rights retards?
You can't say that, Ty.
I know, but I'm just...
But yeah, Republicans, because liberals, got them.
Yeah.
Got them with their own logic. But
you were saying,
yeah, what was I saying? Oh, the people on the right will always say like, yeah, the left's pressuring them to. No, we're not. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Did you hear anybody talking about this? And then like, yeah, the liberal snowflakes. Who the fuck out of the 2 of us is freaking out about children's books right now?
Who's the snowflake now?
Who's posting on social media about how angry they are?
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, they're taking away our Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. First of all, no, they're not. Second of all, why do you care so much about what genitals your potato?
Exactly. Do you use Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head to teach your child about sex?
I do.
Well, do other people other than you do that?
I hope. But okay, so first of all, the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head lines aren't going anywhere. You can still get the Toy Story versions. You can still get the regular ass versions. The only change that's happening is the company. It's owned by Play School, I think.
I don't know.
Play School or Mattel, whatever. It doesn't matter. The company, the subsidiary that makes them, is going to be called Potato Head instead of Mr. Potato Head. That's it.
Yeah.
And they're going to start making some Potato Head toys that are just called Potato Head instead of Mr. or Mrs. They're making some non-binary plastic potatoes.
Yeah.
And people are losing their minds.
Because, like, that's where we are today. Like, you know, gender and gender identity and all that is not as cut and dry as it used to be. And that's fine.
Yeah.
So they're reflecting the times, which
is fine.
makes sense.
And you can still have your binary genders. Like they're not going anywhere.
It's not like they're taking away
it's not
male and female.
Yeah, it's like and only selling potato heads with lipstick and a mustache. Like
Right.
it's just I don't understand that. And again, they're like, "Oh, the leftists are freaking out and they're taking away our potatoes." No, the company just decided that they wanted to change their name and add a new line of toys.
Yeah.
And you're freaking out.
Yeah,
but
it's the rights that are freaking out.
But we're the snowflakes.
Yeah. And the other
crazy to me
bit of cancel culture, and I think I've touched on it before on here, but it's Gina Carano getting fired from The Mandalorian.
Yeah. And it turns
and
out
her being canceled.
We didn't cancel her.
Yeah, she canceled herself.
She canceled herself, first of all, and like nobody was outraged and calling for her to be fired. They just decided on their own to fire her. Mm-hmm. Because that's what you can do.
I don't know. Were people asking her to be fired after her Twitter comments? I think.
Kind of irrelevant. I mean, like, when you say something shitty and you get fired, that's your own fault. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel sorry for her. Like, if I went out right now and posted some shitty shit on Facebook and
shitty shit,
and my shitty shit got seen by my boss and he decides to fire me, that's nobody's fault except my own.
Exactly. Did you see where their kids on TikTok, and this one I mean I don't know, the TikTok people are trying to like cancel Eminem.
Yeah.
No, and everyone's like, good luck, because we've already tried that.
Nobody's taking it seriously.
Yeah.
People have been trying to shut Eminem up since day one.
Yeah. That's just how he is. That's him.
I was like, okay. Like, I totally didn't take that serious. I'm like, he's not fucking going anywhere. Like, that's his whole thing. His entire career has been pissing people off.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop him because he's
right. I mean, I feel like artists and TV and movies and that are sort of,
it's different.
They're kind of exempt almost. Because like, look at how offensive
it's art.
How offensive is South Park and Family Guy?
Exactly.
But Family Guy has had some incredibly racist stuff before.
Yeah.
But doing it in a comedic sense.
It's said in jest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why stuff like that's not canceled.
Yeah, they're not making fun of black people because they hate black people. They're kind of like, it's almost like joking amongst yourselves.
Yeah, they make fun of everybody on Family Guy.
Yeah, nobody is safe.
One person who's not been made fun of.
Exactly. And what's more is Seth MacFarlane is very liberal. He's on the left. He actually think this way, you know? So, and I think me and you actually had this conversation. If somebody like us that is inclusive and is not racist at all, and we make a joke that's kind of a racist joke, and it's not hurtful, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've always said, like, not people who aren't racist can make a racist joke, but if you actually are racist, then you don't get to make that joke because you actually believe it.
Because we both understand that neither of us are racist.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
When I say that, it's a joke, and I'll even say like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't actually think that. It was just funny wordplay or whatever."
Yeah.
Somebody who's racist says that, and they fucking mean it.
Yeah.
You know,
and we also like, not that it makes it better necessarily, but we don't have a platform, like a big platform. You know, we're not saying racist jokes on this podcast.
Yeah, I would never. Are you kidding me? Like, and yeah, what you say behind closed doors, you should act the same everywhere.
Yeah,
like you shouldn't be a closet racist.
Right.
But like,
but I mean, it does have less of an impact.
Absolutely. Like, I don't know. There's a time and place for that stuff if you're going to say it, and like people, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I guess the way I see it is if people like, you know, Family Guy, like make that racist joke, they're not being racist per se because they're not actually racist.
It would be different if they always only made fun of black people.
Yeah, if it was a show just making fun of black people all the time, like that wouldn't be
would be different. But they make fun of blacks, Jews, whites, gays, anything.
It doesn't matter. So it's just, and you can tell it's said in jest. It's not trying to be hurtful.
Right. I feel like
I guess there's probably a fine line there too, where some people might see it and be offended by it, and that's not a good thing. But I feel like it's been around so long, and like I've never really seen a big outcry. Like
do you remember the one episode that wasn't originally aired and then they did like upon syndication that When You Wish Upon a Jew.
Oh, really? That one wasn't.
It wasn't originally aired on Fox because they thought it was too far. Yeah,
I do remember. Well, that's because Fox is ran by the Jews.
And then they're space lasers.
They're Jewish space lasers. But no, I very much remember that episode because he sings that song like, I need a Jew. Yeah, because he needs a Jew to like do his taxes or something. And because of how good they are with money. That's the stereotype.
When You Wish Upon a Weinstein. That's what it was
When
called.
You Wish Upon a Weinstein. Yeah. It was so funny because then the guy comes to the door and he's like, my name's Jeff Weinstein or whatever the hell it was. And he's like, how'd you know I was Jewish? He's like, hello, Weinstein. But no, and that's a pretty tame episode compared to some other shit.
Yeah. I feel like I had this conversation on Facebook just a couple days ago with someone, and it's like, when it comes to like comedians, I feel like you can tell racist jokes as long as you're a part of what's being made fun of.
Sure.
I don't feel like a white person could go up there and tell racist black jokes. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like a non-Jewish person can go up there and make Jewish jokes.
Yeah, because it's kind of like laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
but that's just when it comes to like stand up and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you see that kind of stuff all the time. And I actually did watch this white guy. It was this kind of like chubby white guy, and he was just making fun or like making racist, air quotes, racist jokes about everybody. But it was funny because his entire audience was black, and they were loving it.
Yeah,
because they knew he was joking, and so like. And at the end of the day, they know this guy isn't racist, and he's just making these jokes. And it's like they were just laughing together. Yeah. He wasn't trying to hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like anybody can make white people jokes.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I've seen some white people jokes are the best.
Yeah.
And like, it's funny because I've had conversations with people that are racist, and they're like, well, if we can't say the N-word, how come they can call us crackers? And I'm like, because we can kind of take that one on the chin.
Yeah.
I was like,
do you know where the term cracker came from? It's not because crackers are white.
It's cracking that whip.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of deserved.
Yeah. And like, we can take that on the chin. Like, we're fine. We've never been in a compromised position as a race. We've never had anyone hold power over us.
Mm-hmm. You and I were like texting about this not that long ago, like how I actually feel like ashamed. Yeah, like, even though I haven't personally done anything, like I feel ashamed for my race.
Yeah, like you look back at some of the shit that especially white men have done, and it's like, holy hell.
Yeah,
I'm a
most
part of
the
this
bad
group.
Shit.
Yeah, almost all the evil in the world has been done by white men.
Yeah,
and yeah, like, and I wouldn't change the fact that I'm a white man either.
I wouldn't. I don't envy anybody else.
I hit the goddamn jackpot being born a white straight man.
Yep.
Because I have all the privilege anyone could ever get.
Mm-hmm. I don't have to worry about walking down the street at night.
No.
Possibly getting, jumped and raped, or I don't have to worry about getting pulled over and possibly being shot for a traffic stop.
Right. I don't have to worry about any of that. Like, every time I've been pulled over in my car, I'm afraid I might get a ticket.
Yeah.
I've never been afraid for my life.
No.
And from what I talked to, I don't know if I mentioned this on...
I think you did once, but...
I think I did. What?
There's that puberty kicking in again.
Yeah, I hate that. But I work with a girl at work, and she's a black girl, and she was telling me about how cops treat her, and it just flabbergasted me because I didn't realize like how bad it was even in my own area. So I've never had my car searched. Mm-hmm. They pull me over, they might give me a ticket. Most of the time they don't, and then we go on about our business. She said she's been pulled over, I don't know, a handful of times, and every single time she's been pulled over, she's had her car searched.
Wow.
Every time.
That's just bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine that.
Infuriating.
Yeah. Every single time, ma'am, can you step out of the vehicle? We're going to search the car. Every single time. She's never been pulled over and not had her car searched.
Wow. Did you see the story, like, not that long ago about that one chick? She was the poet during the Biden inauguration. Okay. What was her name?
I don't remember her name, but I do remember her doing the whole poetry.
Amanda Gorman.
I remember the poem. It was like really good.
Yeah, and like, they everyone was all saying how great a job she did and all that. Just a few weeks ago, like she was telling a story about how a cop like started following her while she was walking to her house, and when she got up, or not her house, but like apartment or whatever it was, and like when she got up to it, like the cop didn't believe that she lived there, and was like hassling her about it.
Yeah, probably because it was like a nice neighborhood, and she couldn't possibly live there because
like,
she was black. Black people can't live in nice neighborhoods.
That's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah, and it happens all the time.
Yeah,
and we don't see it. Like as white people, we're sheltered in our privilege. Where like we're never going to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And so we think that it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Because like, well, that's never happened to me. They're exaggerating. That wouldn't happen.
Yeah. And we don't live in a area that has a lot of diverse individuals either.
No, our county is 99.9% white.
Yeah, and most of the different races are over at one of the universities.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. For real.
Yeah.
Like the only diversity you get here is on a college campus.
Yeah. So
yeah.
You know what really pisses me off is the people like this, when it's like Black History Month and they're like, well, where's White History Month?
It's literally all the other months.
It's right?
All the other ones.
Or like International Women's Day or whatever.
Why isn't there International Men's Day? Like, why?
Well, that's all the time, pretty much.
Yeah, literally every other day.
Yeah. Yeah, I think International Women's Day was like sometime a week ago or a few days ago even.
I actually talked to a guy at work. It's funny, all the people at my work have these controversial ideas.
Yeah.
I work in a great place. I'm very grateful for my job, but it attracts a lot of stupid people. But I was talking to a guy.
That's not saying much for you.
Yeah, but you go where your people are. Birds of a feather, am I right?
Right.
But it was during Pride Month last year, the year before. At any rate, it was during Pride Month. And he's like, why can't we have a straight pride parade? I was like, you can. I was like, go start one. Yeah. He's like, no, I want them to be this big deal and all these sponsors and everything. I was like, okay, get it started. Ask for sponsors. Like, you can do that. Nobody is stopping you from doing that. And he's just like, oh, I want it to be this big thing. If they get their gay pride, I want my straight pride. I'm like, first of all, why?
Yeah.
I was like, have you ever been discriminated against for being straight? Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, I don't get a parade. And
so that's your bar set for not being for being discriminated against.
It's not getting a being parade. Celebrated. I was like, has anyone ever told you shouldn't be allowed to marry somebody? Has anyone ever told you shouldn't be able to adopt a kid? Mm-hmm. Has anyone denied you health care because you're attracted to women?
Yeah.
No, I didn't think so. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. Like, it infuriates me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And the same thing for like, why don't we get White History Month? Has anyone ever hidden your history? Has anybody ever like acted like white people didn't do anything good in this country?
Exactly.
Yeah, we talk about all the white people all the time. People used to exclude black people from history. They wouldn't talk about it until they started doing Black History Month. It's gotten better.
Yeah,
people know who Martin Luther King is, no matter what month of the year it is now. But they had to designate this whenever they did it. I'm not sure when they did it, but they did it so that we would start talking about it.
Yeah, because
we used to exclude these stories, and it's the same thing with all these other movements. It's because we used to ignore this shit. Now we're talking about it.
Yep.
Where's my straight pride parade tie? I'm proud to be straight. Why?
Okay.
But I mean, okay. Fine.
That's all right.
Yeah. You're allowed to be straight. People are telling them they're not allowed to be gay. That's why the parade, you dumb motherfucker.
Dude, I saw this disgusting thing on the news, and it was it was a scene from these. I don't remember where they were at, but there was these. I'm guessing they were probably Trump people, and they were having things that said like white pride and this and that. And there was a black chick walking by that said Black Lives Matter, and the guy's like, somebody was recording it, and the guy's like, no, only white lives matter. And she said something like, are you a Nazi or something? He's like, yeah, Heil Hitler. Like, he actually said that, and like was proud of it.
These people exist.
Yeah.
Like, they're allowed to like drive and stuff.
Like, not like, I feel like people aren't afraid to like say that, they're neo-Nazis now.
Not anymore.
Not after
because
45.
Trump made racism great again. And so now people are proud. People used to hide that shit.
Yeah.
They would have their back room in their house with all their Nazi memorabilia, but now they wear it on their chest.
We need to make that not okay again.
Yeah, make racism bad again.
Yeah.
Like that should have been Biden's like slogan. make racism wrong again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've
Good
seen
Lord.
It's so bad. It's just so bad. People don't even care anymore because they're like, well, the president can be racist, so why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many people that still defend him. Like the same people I was been telling you about that I work with are like, Trump's not racist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Didn't he say, I'm the least racist person in the world?
Literally the least racist person. Yeah. So, I mean, he said it right there.
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't lie.
Obviously. But that Biden, what about her emails?
Oh, wait, that's Hillary.
Yeah, same people to them. They're the exact same person.
Yeah.
They can't tell the difference. If you put a picture of Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton side by side, they'll be like,
They're like, it's that meme from The Office.
Democrats.
It's that meme from The Office of Pam. She's like, it's literally the same picture.
Literally the same picture. Babies eating babies. They think that for real time.
Yeah, that is like the core belief. Like if you're a Q person, that's like the thing you have to believe, minimum.
So I think they mentioned this on Cognitive Dissonance or one of those podcasts, where like 40% of the U.S. population
I heard that. Believes in conspiracy, like some form of
either
the
Q or that the election was rigged.
Yeah,
40%.
Yeah, almost 1 in 2 people.
That's almost half of us.
That's bad. Hey, I mean, it's now March 14th, and what happened to that inauguration?
That was supposed to happen
on the 4th.
On the 4th,
and
it didn't happen.
I don't know why. I mean, America, was a corporation all those years, and none of those presidents counted,
including Trump.
Yeah, but he was going to be president again
because reasons. Yeah, I think somebody was talking about the next thing because that one didn't happen. So now something else has to happen.
Yeah,
and I don't remember what it was, but it'll be another crazy thing. And then after that doesn't happen, it'll be another crazy thing.
It's the Mike Lindell guy. He came out and said,
like, what did he say?
He kept saying he was going to be releasing all this proof, like every, like so often to where it's going to be so overwhelmingly true and like blatantly obvious that they're going to have to appoint him president again.
But that was supposed to happen on the 4th.
Yeah, but he's got this information that hasn't come out yet that he's going to be.
What in the fuck is he waiting for?
He didn't. I don't know. He apparently didn't feel like revealing it in that absolute proof movie.
Yeah, he's had all of this time to release this information. He's just sitting on it.
Did you hear that about the movie he made?
Yeah, but now he's making absolute proof part 2.
Yeah,
because the proof wasn't absolute enough in the first one.
Oh god.
Even more absoluter than the first one.
I tried to watch the first one and I couldn't get like more than a few minutes in. It was just
batshit.
Yeah.
The dude makes pillows. He makes lumpy pillows. And
I mean, to his credit, he did turn pillow sales into like $1 multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah, because he did it with a cross on his chest. He's like, buy my pillows, they're Christian. And they're like, I love it.
Apparently, Walmart has no objection to them because they still sell them at our Walmart.
I still see them on the walls. A lot of people stopped selling them, but Walmart's like,
we'll do anything to make a buck.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You think I give a fuck? Shit. We don't even enforce masks.
Yeah. Probably because Walmart's based in Arkansas.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
Yeah. Arkansas.
The Walton family.
Yep.
They're the richest family in the world.
Yeah, it's by far the richest corporation in the country. I know.
Yeah, I think I saw like their family literally is like the wealthiest in the world. I thought, at least in the country, and it's disgusting.
Yep.
And Walmart gets rid of all the other stores. Like before Walmart, we had
an Amazon.
Yeah, we had a Kmart in town, and we had a Kroger. And now we don't. Yep. Because we have a Walmart.
Kmart wasn't that fantastic.
I liked Kmart.
After Walmart came around, there was a lot of things that Kmart were outdated on.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed Kmart. What I miss most about Kmart is I did a lot of my Christmas shopping there.
Okay.
They had a lot of good stuff around Christmas time there. And now it's like around Christmas, I'm like, ugh, I got to go to the fucking mall now.
Like back in the day, I did my video game shopping there. And back when I still bought CDs were really good at Walmart.
Yeah, their electronics section was good. They had a good clothing selection too. Their clothing was a lot better than like Walmart.
They had a good toy section too.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Their toy section was the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I spent countless hours in their toy section.
Yeah, just like goofing off because it was Kmart, and so it's like
They didn't give a shit.
it's a joke store. Like,
Yeah.
and so I can't tell you how many laps I did around the entire store on skateboards that they had in the toy section.
Yeah, like they don't give a fuck what you're doing. It's Kmart.
When Lexi and I got together, she worked there, and so I would go to visit her at work and just like skate around the store until she got off work, and then we'd leave.
That's funny.
Because like her mom was like one of the managers there, and like she was a supervisor at one point, I think Lexi was, and so it was like, who's going to get me in trouble? Like literally basically my family. Like they don't give a fuck what I do.
Right.
So yeah, it was fun.
Walmart had a good pharmacy too. I know I used that pharmacy for a long time.
Do you mean Kmart? You said Walmart.
Or Kmart, yes.
Yeah.
No, I've
a
never
lot of
used the
people
Walmart.
use them. I used Kroger Pharmacy, but now I
switched to Kroger after a while.
Okay. Yeah, I used Kroger for a long time, but now I use CVS. For one reason was, well, our Kroger closed down, but another was my insurance through my work actually is through CVS, so it just made it way easier. I miss Kroger.
Kroger. Not Kroger's like
I
all
hate
the
it
old
when
people say.
Go down to the Krogers.
Growing up, that's what I thought it was because that's all my parents
Oh,
said.
I called it Kroger's for the longest time. You know how long it took me to break that habit?
It was hard.
Like last week.
Kroger's, Myers.
Yeah, Myers. Why do old people always add an S
I don't
to
know.
everything?
Hot Topics.
I've never heard that.
Really?
People call it that?
Yeah.
Like
Old
not,
people.
Like not ironically.
Right. Old people that
no.
don't know any better. Going down.
My mom used to do that. Oh, you playing your Pokemons?
Yeah.
No.
And get on the Facebook.
Get on the Facebooks.
That doesn't make as much sense.
Get on the Google.
The MySpace.
Why don't you get on the Google there? You don't control the Google? There was this like post on Facebook I saw a while back where it was like a text conversation between like a woman and her older mom. She's like, "Can you change the Google picture back to what it was? I like the old one better." And because you know, how
Yeah, I did
Google will
see
like
that.
update like
The Google
their-
Doodle.
Yeah. She's like, "I like the old one better." And she's like, "Mom, I don't run Google." And she's like, "Wait, you don't control the Google?" It's like, "No, I'm just a person. Like, if I controlled the Google, we'd be billionaires." Oh,
Have you ever
people.
seen the movie? It came out like back in 2010-ish or so. The Social Network.
I never watched it. I know.
Jesse
I know it is
Eisenberg.
the Facebook movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never watched it.
Apparently, like he was going to call it the Facebook, and like it was originally. And then the guy who owned Napster, who he worked with, told him to drop the
Really?
and just call it Facebook.
Such a
That
good
guy
decision.
was played by Justin Timberlake.
Such a good decision.
It was.
Can you imagine the Facebook?
Yeah,
I'm gonna check the Facebook. I'm gonna check the Facebook.
Yeah, apparently it got its origins. Like he made this database because he went to Harvard. Yeah, and he made this like database of all the girls in the class or in the school, and like you choose which one was hotter, and like he was building this algorithm of like who the hottest girls were.
So he was basically just making Tinder.
He did it. He did it like after he got dumped by one of the chicks.
Oh, that's
this chick he
funny.
liked. Yeah.
But yeah, it would force you to use like extra words like that. Hey, Ty, do you have the Facebook?
Yeah.
Just a bad idea. I can't think of a brand name that has the in front of it. Can you? The Gap. People call it the Gap.
Yeah, but I think it's just called.
I think
Gap.
it's just Gap, but everybody says I'm going to go down to the Gap.
The Good Feet store.
Is that a thing?
I think so. I've seen commercials. I think it's just a local thing, like a
Gross.
Ohio thing.
I don't know. I'm sure there's something,
There's got to be something.
right?
The
I don't know.
There's lots of bands that start with the
Yeah, the Beatles, the Who, the
Kinks.
Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Great
Remember
band.
them? Great band.
Was that the?
It might
I don't.
just.
I don't think it is the.
I don't think so.
I think it's just Red
Is it?
Jumpsuit.
Now I gotta look.
I think it's just red jumpsuit apparatus.
I feel like I always say but it might not be. It is. It is the red jumpsuit apparatus.
Face Down is one of my all-time absolute favorite songs.
Such a good song.
Like, of my, those years, the mid 2000s scene rock music.
Is it the
punk rock music?
Is it the Red Hot Chili Peppers, or is it just Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I have no idea. I was not really big into them.
It's just Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The Killers.
The Killers. You know what I hate about the Killers? Their name. Because the first time somebody mentioned them to me, they're like, "Have you ever listened to the Killers?" I assumed they were going to be like a heavy rock band because they're called the Killers. But
instead
they're just like this, like
they're snazzy,
kind of almost like a pop rock band.
Yeah,
and they're great. I love them, but their name is misleading, and they need to change their name because the Killers implies like heavy music to me.
That's what a lot of people, not to bring them up again, that's what a lot of people knock Ghost for.
Yeah,
because they see what they look like. They look like they're going to start singing like
they look like
death metal.
They look like a death metal band,
and
but they're like
far from it.
Glam rock.
Yeah,
that's
glam rock like in hell.
Yeah, that's what throws me off so much about them and why I have a hard time getting into them. Because the first time you mentioned them, I looked at them and was like, "Oh, damn, they look pretty heavy." And then it was just like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah,
it was like it took me back in time because it sounds like 80s rock and roll, really.
Yeah,
like 70s, 80s rock and roll. And the music isn't bad. It's just I can't get over the clash of image versus sound. It's very jarring to me.
Yeah, and he's got a different voice too for that type of like music.
Yeah,
because it's like kind of a harder. How would you describe it?
The instrumentals are
just kind of like
heavy-ish.
Yeah,
there's some.
There's some songs that
they
are
bring
kind
the
of just
chuggage a little bit. They bring the chuggage, the chug chug chug, the heavy riff. But
depends on the album.
Yeah. But a lot of times I listen to him and I literally feel like I'm just listening to some rock album from the 70s.
Yeah, his voice comes in. He's got like this high voice that doesn't match the music, and
it definitely doesn't match the image.
Yeah,
yeah, they look like the heaviest band on the block.
Yeah,
but they're not.
Pretty much one of my favorite bands right now.
Yeah. Do you remember the TikTok I sent you that was like a guy who was like acting like he was like what's the word I'm looking for? Like he was trying to.
He was pitching the idea.
Yeah, he was pitching the band.
Yeah, and it's pretty much the same concern, or pretty much the same issues.
Yeah, he's like, what I love is like, and so who are the other members of your band? He's like, no, it's just me.
Yeah.
He's like, but you clearly have other members. It's like, no, they don't. They're just a band of faceless ghouls. Actually, that's a pretty good name for them.
Nameless ghouls.
Yeah, whatever. And then. He's like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good name for him. He's like, yeah, it's literally just me.
Yeah, like even like in the song credits, like if you look at the bottom, like it says written by a nameless ghoul.
Yeah, or written by like, because the singer actually has a name.
Yeah, depending on the album,
it's usually
a different one every album.
He has a real name that people were able to figure out, so like it's out now. People know his real name,
Tobias Forge.
But he's also Papa something.
Papa Emeritus.
Okay, and
the first, second, third, and
then he had that weird one.
The fourth one, the most recent album, was Cardinal Copia.
Is that him with the mustache?
But then he turned into Papa Emeritus the Fourth.
Okay,
at the very end of their last tour.
But yeah, I do remember scrolling to the bottom of the credits on one of them, and it said written by Papa Emeritus and
a nameless ghoul,
or the Nameless Ghouls or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I feel bad for the Nameless Ghouls.
Yeah,
they get no notoriety whatsoever. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm in a band, but you'd never know.
Yeah. He said some people have had like an issue with that, but some of them that he has in his current lineup are totally fine with it because like they can just go do whatever and not have to worry about being recognized.
Sure. And I think some people, like, they don't have the original lineup they started with. Like, people have left the band, and I'm wondering if that's why.
Yeah, because some of them had issues with it. But I mean, it makes it really easy to replace people without the other people knowing.
Nobody has to know.
Yeah.
Like, you could do a show one night and then a show the next night with a completely different band and no one would have any idea. As long as they sounded good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's very protective about that too. Like, he won't let any of them come out and like do interviews or anything because he's like, I wrote this music. I recorded this music. Like, this is my band. Like, he's not selfish about, or he is selfish about that.
Right.
Like, he's not afraid to say, yeah, like, this is me.
But I mean, some of the nameless ghouls are credited, so it's like, well, I helped write this song too.
Yeah, that's why I think sometimes they do play, but I think he records everything as far as I know. I don't know for sure.
If that were me, I wouldn't put any input. Like, what do you think about this verse? Don't care.
Yeah. So you're going to give me credit for it?
Literally a nameless ghoul. Don't give a fuck.
Their masks are badass, though.
I love them. They trip me out because their mouths looked blurred, but they're not. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they do it. It's some kind of weird optical illusion.
But it's like all just like spray painted silver.
It's literally just flat. But to me, it looks like their mouth is blurred out.
It could just be because you expect there to be a mouth.
I think
there
my mind expects there to be lips, and there's not, and so I just assume that it's blurred because brains are weird.
Their touring masks now have like a little cutout where the mouth should be, but it's like black because they wear those like the
spandex.
Yeah, that's all black, so you can't like see their lips or anything.
Their laps.
So
you can't see their laps
because like one of them will do like backing vocals during the concerts.
I wouldn't do it. You gonna give me credit for these backing vocals? But yeah, that's
so much for keeping this to a shorter episode.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, you'll have that. What are you gonna do?
Remember when we talked about drums and couldn't figure out?
Yeah, still have no idea how we got there. We're gonna have to go back and figure that, and then we're like, oh yeah, we're stupid.
Wait, what was the cold open gonna be about? We were gonna have to try and be sure to mention, because remember we were having a conversation.
Were we?
A text conversation. And when I was like, this would be a good cold open, and you're like, oh, it would.
We're gonna have to figure that out.
Because like it wouldn't make sense if it doesn't get mentioned during the episode.
Well, see, at this point, they've already heard the cold open.
I know, but at least like the cold open would make sense in the episode.
Would it?
It was about the achievement on Spider-Man.
Oh, it was. So we
we don't want to give too much away, but we can talk about Spider-Man briefly.
We play Spider-Man.
That's the new
Miles
Morales video game.
Okay, yeah. Super short mention so that the cold open made sense. So Ty already has the platinum trophy. I don't yet. I'm working on it because I got my game later than he did. And so yeah, that's what that was about.
Yeah.
I never snort. And now you know, and knowing is half the battle.
Oh boy.
Is that good enough?
I think that's good enough. It's not irrelevant now.
Great game, by the way, though.
It is great. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's the storyline, and like, I don't remember much from the first one because I only played through it once.
I remember.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember basically what happened. He was buddies with Doc Ock, and
they were bad guys.
Yeah, and he eventually
had webs.
He eventually went full Doc Ock, and the prisoners escaped from the raft.
Oh, it was so sad though, because him and Doc Ock were like tight. Like he was like a father figure to him, and then he like turned on him.
But I didn't feel that same connection then, as I did like between. Well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it, but between Miles and Finn.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it was.
This story felt more personal to me.
To me, it wasn't as much, and I wonder if it's because Peter Parker's my favorite Spider-Man, and I love Miles. Like,
I don't have a preference either way. I just know more about Peter Parker because he's in more things,
right? And so, like, I don't know, and that kind of father-son type relationship they had because Peter had lost his dad, he lost his uncle, and he finally had this new father figure, and then their relationship turned sour and he had to fight him. To me, that was really like gut-wrenching.
Yeah, that's rough.
So, and I mean, not to give away too much of the Spider-Man, but yeah, the new one, but I can see where you're coming from, and it definitely was like, fuck that, that really fucking sucks. But I don't know, it wasn't as big a punch in the gut to me as the first one was.
But they were both great games.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'm about to replay the newest one so I can get my platinum trophy, and I am excited to replay it.
Not excited to get that one, to keep trying at that one achievement.
Yeah, it's the one. You already heard
yeah, yeah, you know what we're talking about because you already heard it.
We do the show in reverse, guys. But yeah, that's we're gonna stop now.
We are on social media.
Yeah, I always forget that.
Yeah,
Facebook.
Not always. Sorry.
Facebook,
Twitter,
Instagram,
YouTube,
and is that it?
Yes, it's 4 of them.
That's 4 of them. That's good counting. Yeah, so find us there.
Yep.
And like
pretty much on any podcast place you can find.
If you're listening to this, you already know where to find us. However, if you prefer any other platform, we're probably on it.
Tell your friends about us.
Tell your friends.
Tell your family. Tell a stranger.
Tell your ultra conservative uncle.
Yeah.
He'll love us. That was weird.
Yeah. Anybody. Like, walk up to a random stranger. It'd be a good icebreaker.
Be like, dude, do you listen to that new episode of the TNT podcast? Be like, who the fuck are you?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Get the fuck away from me. I'm trying to eat. Like in a crowded restaurant, you walk up to someone.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. Like after you're done eating, I can come up and.
Yeah, okay. I'll wait.
I'll just wait.
I'm just gonna sit right here and watch you eat until you're done. Okay. That's all we have to say on that.
We'll see you next time. Not so much that second time.
Yeah, well.
Hello, and welcome to the TNT podcast, the show where we do anything. Do anything?